So it's been 3 months since we've launched our most awaited UG program, the undergraduate program, which includes classes by CXOs, it includes leadership retreats, industry treks, and all of this is designed to groom the leader of tomorrow, right? So today we are with our director of the undergraduate program, Swati Ganeti, who is ex-Wharton MBA and she is ex-IIT Delhi. We will be talking about the much awaited Masters Union undergraduate program, and we will also be answering some of the most asked, most challenging questions that we have for her today. Shall we get into it, Swati?
Absolutely, waiting for it.
How are you doing today?
Very well.
We can see that. And we can see that the UG program is kicked off with a lot of excitement. One of the most important questions we have is, what degree do you get?
You get a degree from Delhi University. So if you have maths in class 12, you get a Bachelor of Management Studies. And if you don't have maths in class 12, then you get a Bachelor of Commerce, right? Now, when you get enrolled in Masters Union, you also get enrolled in DU's School of Open Learning. And every semester, you are taking the Delhi University exams. The way our curriculum is designed, it's designed in a way that we cover all the courses as per the DU syllabus. Obviously, our pedagogy and our faculty is very, very different. So it's more hands-on, more practical. But marketing is marketing. HR is HR, right? Just that you learn here in a very, very practical approach so that you're ready to apply and not theoretical. So you do all of that here, but your exams happen in Delhi University. It's the same exam that any student enrolled in DU takes, whether it's an SRCC or an LSR student. It's the same exam you're taking, right? And it's our responsibility to make sure that you're prepared to take those exams.
That is fascinating. But this degree is from Delhi University School of Open Learning, right? Is that not a disadvantage?
It's not. In fact, when IIM Indore started, right, when they started their undergrad program, they also couldn't give a UGC certified degree. So what they did was they partnered with IGNU, which is Indira Gandhi National Open University. Until 2017 or 2018, they were giving the IGNU degree. Would you say that having done your 5-year program from IIM Indore till 2017-18 was a disadvantage? Not at all. Everybody knows IIM Indore, right? Similarly, today, everybody knows Masters Union. So the fact that you're getting a DU degree is because we are a new program. We are yet not recognized to give that degree, which is okay. And you're getting a UGC certified degree. Not only that, 80% of CAs, right, when people do chartered accountancy or people do company secretary exam, right, 80% of your CAs are actually, they have gotten their degree from Delhi University School of Open Learning because they did not go into a regular college. Now, would you say that these CAs do not have a chance of doing an MBA from a Harvard? Not at all. My batchmates at Wharton were CAs, right? So I think this is, and this is not true that having a degree from DU School of Open Learning is a disadvantage. Also, if you look at the degree itself, right, that DU gives you, it doesn't mention the college at all. So if you are from SRCC or LSR or any other college or School of Open Learning, it's the same degree, the same piece of paper that you're getting. So how is it going to be a disadvantage?
And what if we apply abroad?
If you apply abroad to a Harvard or a Wharton or a Stanford, and we encourage our undergrad students to do that, you pretty much are recognized as a 4-year undergrad program that you've done at Masters Union. Plus, if there is a question on the degree, you have a DU degree. So I actually went to the Harvard MBA page and I looked up the eligibility requirements. And it clearly mentions that either you have an international recognized degree, which most of the colleges are not in India, or you have an equivalent 4-year degree. Right? So Masters Union is a 4-year undergrad program. It's a full-time on-campus program, which fulfills all the equivalence criteria. So we don't see any issues going there. And even if you don't trust me, I think the fact that you have a DU degree and the fact that people from previous batches who have had DU's School of Open Learning degree have gone to Harvard's and the Whartons should, kill all those doubts.
I mean, that sounds like quite the salient feature of this program. But does that mean that companies will hold the students of this program at par with DU programs and DU students?
I think that would be a very low expectation to say that we will be at par with DU. I mean, DU has variety of colleges, right? You, again, I'll repeat, right? You have SRCC, LSR, and you have other Stephens, Hindu, many other colleges. Are you saying that the industry puts all those colleges at par? No, there are companies which are going in SRCC which are not going anywhere else, or going to LSR and not going anywhere else. Why? Because companies look at the program, companies look at the college, the faculty, and the culture of that campus, right? So when recruiters come at Masters Union, they are not coming here because we have a degree from DU. They are coming here because we are Masters Union. We have 200 plus CXOs. We have leadership retreats. The curriculum is at par with all the Ivy Leagues in the world. That's why they come here.
That sounds very exciting, by the way. And I mean, when we get to know more about the course, I think there will be a lot more to understand. But this is one of the most common questions that we're getting about the course, which says, so why not go for a DU degree if we're getting, why not go to DU if we're getting a DU degree?
Because of our curriculum. I mean, when you get DU degree from all the DU colleges, why do you choose one college from the other? Right? Why is there a ranking order among all the DU colleges also? And there is a preference of one over the other. That's because you're going to a college for its curriculum, for its faculty, for the experiences that it provides you, and not that piece of paper. In fact, after I graduated from IIT Delhi, nobody has asked me to show the piece of paper that I got from the campus, right? My education shows in the way I express myself or the way I work. It shows in all of that. So nobody will ask you for that piece of paper, but your grooming and the way you are brought up during those 4 years of your life is all that matters.
So what you're saying is an individual is a true testament to their pedigree, basically,
Yes.
right? That's great, actually. And I mean, that brings me to my next question, which is, I mean, the current placements are from the PGP batch. So why shouldn't somebody do a PGP from Masters Union, and why consider a UG program here? That's a common question that apparently we're getting.
Yes. So if you're a grade 12 student, right, who's thinking that, hey, let me do my undergrad at some other college and then, go to Masters Union for the PGP, their placements are great. My point is that today itself, Masters Union's PGP program is very competitive. Our selection rate is already 10% and every year it's going down, right? If you think that 4 years later, and a lot of people here come after WorkX, so 4 years is minimum that you'll take, maximum could be 7-8 years. If you think that you'll come here for an MBA 7-8 years down the line, it's going to be really tough. So if you want to seal the deal with Masters Union undergrad program, where you get a straight entry to our PGP program as well after 4 years, I would say take that opportunity, because the way we are growing and the way the brand is growing in the market, I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk getting, and it's today also it's not, getting into a PGP is really tough.
That's interesting. I mean, getting into the PGP program has been talked about for the last 3 years. And that kind of brings me to where I think this program is located. That's something that piques people's curiosity a lot and has been written about in the news too, right? We are, and you are placed in the DLF building. And what if tomorrow you are not here?
So let me ask you, right? When a family lives in a house and they shift their houses, does that change the family? Not at all, right? It's just the outer, construct has changed. So one, we are not going anywhere. We are in DLF for a long time and we have a long-term lease. So even if there is an iota of doubt saying that, hey, would you change your building? Yes, if we grow at that pace where the DLF building falls short, yes, we are going to get a new building of our own. But does that change who we are? Does that change the faculty that we have, or the leadership that we have, or the experiences that we are giving you? Not at all. The curriculum remains the same, the alumni network remains the same, and that's what we are known for, right? So how does it matter whether it's the DLF building in DLF Cyber Park, or it is like 5 minutes down the line another building? As long as the infrastructure is world class, which it is, it is modern, and you've seen our classrooms and our auditorium and everything, I think that is all that should matter.
When you say the curriculum will not change and the masters will not change, could you elucidate who we're talking about and what what this looks like, what the masters are like, and who the students will be taught by?
Sure. So if you talk about what is Masters Union known for and why do we name ourselves as Masters Union, we bring in the masters of the different fields together, right? So when you are being taught product management, you are being taught by a Microsoft or a Razorpay senior product executive. When you're being taught digital marketing, you're being taught by a Facebook executive. And these are the people who've run these companies for the last 10, 15 years, right? So these are the people who come and teach you. In addition to our in-house faculty who are PhDs from I'm Ahmedabad, I'm Bangalore, I'm Calcutta, who teach you the core courses, right? So when these people are there teaching you, and if we are talking about an educational institute, what matters the most? The curriculum and the faculty. And these are the people who are going to teach you in our undergrad program. They already teach you in our postgrad program.
That is impressive. So then why not set up a large campus like other universities?
So to set up a large campus, it will have to be a little bit away from the main city, right? If you look at our location today, it's right in the heart of Gurgaon, right? Like 5 minutes from DLF Cyber Hub. Now, if you are away from the industry, then the faculty that is coming to you will be less. The kind of CXO sessions. So for today, we are organizing 3 to 4 CXO sessions where our students get to meet with the leading CXOs of the companies, whether it's Ashneer Grover, whether it's Ghazal Alag, whether it's Aman Gupta. Now that becomes difficult if you're situated in Sonipat or Manesar, right? So to make sure that we are right in the heart of the city and it's convenient for our faculty, our CXOs, our leadership, so that we can give that industry immersive experience, that is the decision we have taken, that it's okay to be in a DLF building, but at the same time not compromise on the infrastructure. I mean, if you look at Masters Union classroom today, my Wharton classrooms were exactly the same. So would you say that it's a disadvantage? No, it's a really posh and modern building where the classrooms are world class.
That sounds really exciting, honestly. And I think you're saying that you're practically at the heart of business.
Yes.
So, since you're just 3 years old, how can we trust such a new organization with something as important as an undergraduate degree and a degree?
See, I think we need to start thinking about education as a skill, right? Rather than as a degree. Now, if tomorrow there is a school in your city that has come up and it's an IB school and it's really world class with the great faculty, etc., you may not say that, hey, how do I trust? I mean, if you've seen the students who've graduated from that school or students who are going to that school, you will be like, look at Sharma ji ka beta. This guy goes to that school and, like the grooming is great and his education is great. So I would say that your trust has to come to us once you've met our alumni, once you've met our students. And if you think that they have the right skills to become the leaders of the world, that is what you should be looking at. Not the infrastructure, not what I'm saying, but our students are a proof of what we can bring to the table.
And I think that's powerful proof, right? The last batch, somebody from the PGP program was recruited at Zerodha, is what I've heard. The first batch or
The
the
first
second
batch, but if you look at the placements, and that brings me to your question of that these are PGP placements, right? But I'll reiterate what our placements are. Our PGP placements of this year, the average was 33 lakhs. The highest was somewhere around 64 lakhs, right? Now, that is something that even Ahmedabad hasn't been able to deliver. Now, in 3 years, why have we been able to do that? Because of our curriculum and faculty, because of the upbringing that these students get in this 1 year. It's a rigorous curriculum. It has so much outclass experience that they're learning business by running businesses. You would have heard of Bullspree, which came on the Shark Tank episode, and they raised funding from Aman and Piyush, which is incredible. Right now, coming back to the point of, hey, this is your PGP placement, these are not your UG placements. I would say that once, and I used to lead the undergrad recruitment at Bain. I've worked at Bain for 5 years, and when we looked at talent, we never said only the MBA talent or only the undergrad talent. We were going to campuses, both IITs and IIMs and ISB and Masters Union right now, and we were saying that we are going to evaluate the talent. It doesn't matter whether they've had the post grad 2 years or not. In fact, a lot of people who have gone on higher, great salaries from our batches have also been freshers, which means that they just did their degree undergrad, came here, did 1 year of Masters Union, and straight away were at par with anybody who had 4 or 5 years of experience who were their batchmates, right? So it's not about how many years of experience you have. It's all about what can you make of the resources that we give you and how you transform yourself and make yourself industry ready.
And that is really powerful. So it's a mix of the student's ability and also a mix of exactly how much empowerment there is in the ecosystem here, right? But that brings me to the next really important question, that why are you so expensive?
We're not. You compare us to Harvard, Wharton, Stanford, we're not expensive. If today you were to go for your undergrad at Wharton, it'll cost you somewhere around 2 crores for the 4 years. And here it is costing you around 30 to 35 lakhs, right? So it is relatively, I would say, 1/5, 1/6 the price. Right now, yes, if you compare us, if you're comparing apples and oranges, then we might be perceived as expensive. You might say, hey, the any other college in India is not charging as much as we are. But to be honest, if you look at all the premium colleges in India who claim to provide you the world-class offerings, and there have been few in liberal arts, the fee structure is pretty similar. And that's because it takes a lot of cost to get the world-class faculty, to get the world-class experiences, which are at par with an Ivy League experience.
So then that brings us to the next thought, which is this an education institute only for the rich, given that the fee is like a 35 lakhs?
No. As we've reiterated again and again, out of the batch, the total batch size of 120, we have around 80 seats where we will be giving scholarships, right? So we do have a lot of funds to give to the deserving individuals who can't afford the fee. So I don't think anybody should be thinking about the fee while applying. I think that is something that should be looked at the last. And if the student is deserving enough, there's a 65% chance that you will get a scholarship.
That's powerful. So there is potential for a student who has real caliber to make a mark here and also receive some sort of additional sort of assistance or support to get into the university.
And that has happened in our PGP batches as well. We have given enough scholarship to all the merit students, because we see caliber and talent in them.
So then your admission process is also something that we've heard conversation about, that it is, the admission process is very rigorous and it's a 3-step process. I mean, do you have any thoughts on how someone should navigate that?
Yeah, so it is a rigorous process because it's tough to get selected into Masters Union, and also that we are looking for a specific kind of individual. So we need to assess you on all those parameters. So the step one for you is to just fill out your application, which has 2 essays and 1 video, right? Very similar to how all the Ivy League colleges operate. Once you've submitted your application, we invite you, if you're shortlisted, we invite you for an aptitude test. Right now, that's a simple 2-hour aptitude test. We will be giving you practice test as well. After that, there is an interview and an in-person business simulation. Now, these two happen in person. The other two were online, but the last step happens in person, where we invite you either in Delhi or Bombay or Bangalore, and you have to come and do an in-person business simulation, which is actually a group discussion among the applicants on a case study, on a business case study. And then after that, there is a half an hour interview with our admissions committee, where we ask you questions regarding your application, your experiences, your ambition in life, your essays, all of that, to understand, who is this individual that we are considering for our program.
So that sounds more than rigorous, thorough. You
Yeah.
go deep into the candidates' sort of cognitive abilities and their experience and what they've taken away from it. So, where many colleges give these admissions basis test scores, what does it look like for the UG program?
I think when you're saying many colleges, you're saying many colleges in India. Right. And yes, our education system, and I'm a product of it and a proud product of it. But yes, the way the selections happen is all through test scores, which is, I feel, only one aspect of your overall personality or caliber. So if you ask me that just because my JE rank was so good, am I better off than people who had lower ranks than me? Not at all. In fact, all majority of my back benchers in my class are today unicorn founders, right? And probably that is the reason that they're unicorn founders, because I was going into a cushy job where I was like, hey, like I have a great corporate job, great grades. Why should I start up? But they went through the grind of entrepreneurship, and today they are, I would say, in all measures of success, much more successful than me, right? So I think just judging an individual by a paper or a score or a test exam is not fair. And pretty much all the international best top colleges use this method of overall evaluation to find the true potential of any individual.
That brings me to the concept of entrepreneurship and being a founder, which you talk about. And we've been reading and hearing a lot about the CEO challenge that's been ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like an ongoing theme of the UG program, to like give somebody the ability to found or to start up?
Yeah, no, it is, right. So when we launched our UG program, we said one is, yes, people are applying to our program and we are giving them a curriculum that's world class. But even apart from that, what can we do for the high school students, right? Now, because we stand for that, that student set as well. So we said, let's, for all those who are talented, who have startups, that they're working on, why not launch something which gives them a platform to present their ideas to the leading entrepreneurs of the country. And this year we had Ashneer Grover come and judge in his shark style all the top 18 finalists, and it was a great exposure, hearing what the gaps in their business models were, getting advice from Ashneer, and then getting that platform where they got mentorship from our students and our leadership, and then got to present in front of Ashneer.
This is unusual. At
Yes.
16, I think I would not have imagined actually trying to pitch a business to somebody.
But the world, Veda, is very, very different today than it was when we were in school, right?
Evidently.
It is. They have so much exposure. And I personally worked with these students on their business plans during the CEO challenge. They know much more than what we knew when we were teens.
That is powerful. It means the future is probably in safe hands, and we're hoping to build some of those future leaders here at Masters Union. Tell us more about this aptitude test of yours, and how can one practice for the aptitude test?
So our aptitude test is 2 hour long. It has 3 sections. One is logical reasoning abilities, second is numerical abilities, and third is data interpretation, right? So once you get shortlisted, you get enough preparation material from our side to be able to prepare yourself for the test. But even if you don't prepare, I think it's okay. It's basic math and logic reasoning, right? So if you bring a fresh mind to the table and do your test, I think you will be fine. But we do have a lot of preparation material for the shortlisted candidates.
And when you say that you should come with an open mind, is the test a test actually? Is that what you would call it? Or
It is. I know we are a very innovative school, and we are known for doing a lot of creative things. But this one step in our admission process is very similar to how a lot of other, your CAT happens or other aptitude test happens. We wanted to keep it that way because this is the first year and students are very used to that. So we didn't want to disrupt a lot of things for the students. So it's very similar to any other aptitude test that they would have taken.
so a student definitely has to do this test and pass it to get into Masters Union. That would be one of the...
Yes, this is the second step after your application is shortlisted.
All right. And the timelines on the tests, what
So
about
it'll
those?
vary by the round. Once you are in the short, so for example, our round 1 students have already gotten the test and the deadline for them is 28th February. For round 2, it will be later in March and April. So that gets communicated as the admission process progresses. But I think it's important to know that you have to submit your application, go through our aptitude test, and then go through the interview process.
And what is the interview process like? What are the timelines for the interview process like?
So we give very, very, we are very flexible in terms of when you do your interview. I know this is the board exam time and everybody's super busy. So we open up a lot of slots in March, April. And once your aptitude test is done, you can pick what slot, what day, which place you want to be. And we can do your interviews there.
That's powerful. So there is, I think, flexibility is also an ongoing theme at this program.
Yes.
Is it?
Which has to be, right? Like every individual is very different. I think we are moving away from common approach that the method should be same for every individual. I think each student is handpicked and each student is very, very different in our class, right? So we let them express themselves and do things the way they want to do. So even in our CEO challenge, you would have seen that every student came up with their own ideas and there was full flexibility. So yes, flexibility is a theme. And even during the 4 years of our curriculum, apart from your core courses, a student has free choice of choosing what courses they want to do, what outclass experiences they want to do, and how they want to customize their experience at Masters Union as per their ambition.
So learning journeys can actually be curated here, and they're curated, kind of self-curated by the students, is what you're saying.
Yes.
That is powerful agency to provide at such a young stage of learning. And help us understand what kind of student is a good fit or is a fit for Masters Union.
If you're hardworking, if you're hungry for achieving something in life, and if you're talented, then you're in. Right. So I think we push a lot on figuring out whether the student has that fire in the belly to continuously learn and strive for excellence, and then the vision of making a positive change in the world. I think that's very, very important for us. And that's what we look for when we are asking you those essays in the video. It's all about that.
So you want to know who the person is when you are trying to ask them to express themselves in their application form.
Who they are, what's their vision of the life they have, and what do they want to do with their time, right? I mean, you're going to spend 4 years here. Do you have any plans of how you're going to use those resources that we have for you? Because you are investing 4 years, but we are also investing our 4 years in you. So it's important for us to know whether you have a vision of how you're going to take Masters Union's learning and apply in the life, and how will you use them to make a positive change in the world.
That sounds like Masters Union is poised to create the next leg of leaders that India has to offer, not just to the workforce here, but to like the global.
Globally. And as you know, our vision is to be in the top 10 business schools in the world. So if Harvard and Wharton and Stanford can do it, and I think an Indian school can do it too.
With that kind of conviction, I think I'm pretty sure the numbers will also start to speak for themselves.
Absolutely.
But that brings us to the end of our conversation today, Swati. Thank you so much for joining us on the Masters Union podcast. And we'll hope to continue this conversation again.
Thank you, Veda.